Today I'll be sharing a quick and easy egg roll recipe. If you're new to my channel, consider subscribing, and if you're already part of the family, welcome back. First, we're going to start off with cabbage. For cabbage, I used about half of a large head of cabbage, and for this, I honestly wanted to cut it into very fine pieces, but you want to make sure that after you rinse it, pat it dry, and be sure as you're cutting it that there's not a lot of water, because you don't want it to be watery when it's inside the egg roll, because it will cause it to be soggy. So ensure that while you're cutting it, you're not smashing it so water won't come out of your cabbage. And so for the carrots, I already bought them cut, so this is very convenient. And for this, I used about 16 ounces, but you can honestly use as much carrots as well as cabbage or the other items that I used for this recipe, but I used about 1.5 of those bags. And now for the bean sprouts, I'm going to show you how I peel them so that you can be able to put them inside your recipe and it'll be tasty. So basically you take off the bean that is found. So you just cut off the head, and that's pretty much how it is. If you see any other parts that you don't like, you can also take those off as well. So for this recipe, I use ground beef, and for this, I used about half of this, and this was about 5 pounds, so it's about 2.5 pounds. And for seasoning, this is bouillon. I use 1 tablespoon of bouillon. And you can honestly use whatever seasoning you want, but this is what I used. And then I used 1 teaspoon of black pepper, and then I added 1 teaspoon of salt. And you can also just add all of this to taste. And then to this, I added the cabbage, the carrots, and the bean sprouts. I'm going to add onions as well later in the video, but we'll get there. Then I added 2 eggs. And also for this, I would have preferred to have broken down the meat with my hands prior to adding everything, but that's just a tip. And my hands are washed, they are very clean. So here's where I added the onions. It was about half of a large onion. And then I added a tablespoon of fish oil. This gives it that authentic egg roll taste. And then I added a tablespoon of sesame oil. And this also helps to give it that wonderful egg roll taste that we all like and enjoy. So now we're just going to mix everything until it's well combined. So this is the egg roll wrapper that I used, and I found it to work out very well when I was wrapping the filling inside. So what you want to do is place it on a plate and cover it with a damp towel. You want to make sure it's not too dry and not too wet. So I'm going to show you how I rolled a couple of these. So what you want to do, you want to remove the wrapper very gently so that it doesn't rip. So after you remove it, what you want to do is use your towel to cover the remaining wrappers so that they don't dry out. So I'm just putting it on the chopboard now just so that I can demonstrate what I did, but for the rest of the wrapping, I'm going to keep it on the side. So what you want to do is take your filling and you're going to put it towards one of the corners. As you see, it looks like a diamond shape. And so you're going to put it there, and then you're going to take that end. It's kind of like you're making a burrito, but you want it to be very tight. So you take the end and you wrap the filling into it, and then you start bringing in the sides. So you bring in the sides and you roll. And to make it more tight, as you're rolling, you're bringing in the sides so that you can have a very, very neat egg roll. And then also I have an egg wash, so it's pretty much one egg very beaten. So the egg wash is one egg beaten, and then you use it as your sealant to seal the end of the egg roll. And there you go. So that's the first one. So I'm going to show you it about 2 more times. Now we are all done, and so this recipe makes about a full pan of egg rolls. So the last step is to fry them. So you put them in your fryer, and you're gonna fry it for about, I would say about 10 to 15 minutes. You want to make sure it fries very well because you know the inside is raw, so you want to make sure that not only the outside is crispy but the inside is fully cooked. Also, for this recipe, you will get about a tray full of egg rolls, but it also depends on how you stuff your egg rolls. If you stuff it with a lot of meat, then you're definitely going to get less egg rolls. And this is it. So if you enjoyed this recipe, please like this video, share it with a friend, and if you decide to make it, tag me on Instagram at Queen's Corner. Also, please subscribe if you haven't done so already and join the fam. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when I release my next video. Take care and God's blessings always.